More Ozempic shenanigans in Hollywood. Kate Moss's sister, Lottie Moss, recently revealed that she overdosed on Ozempic. What is happening, you guys? And now she's talking about raging against the heroin chic trend that has made its way back from the 90s. So let's break down what happened here. If you don't know who Lottie Moss is, she is Kate Moss's younger half-sister. They shared the same father, Peter Edward Moss, and there is a bit of an age difference between Kate and Lottie. Kate Moss is 50 years old and Lottie is 25 years old. Lottie is a gorgeous supermodel, very much like her sister was and still is. Lottie was apparently first discovered as a model at Kate Moss's wedding in 2011 when she was just 13 years old, and she officially started her modeling career signing with Storm Model Management in 2015, which is the same agency that catapulted Kate Moss to fame. So she's modeled for major brands and she's been on magazine covers, and now she recently started her own podcast called Dream On. She's obviously beautiful, gorgeous, so pretty. You can kind of see the Kate Moss resemblance, but I'll be honest, I wouldn't have known that she was related to Kate Moss if she hadn't said that. But apparently Lottie was not very happy with the way that she was looking. She said that she tried Ozempic because she wanted to lose some weight. She said she was around 60 kilos, which roughly comes out to 130 pounds. And she decided to try Ozempic to lose weight quickly, and it did not turn out so well.
Ozempic. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I definitely tried it. When I tell you it was the worst decision I ever made. So if this is a warning to anyone, please, if you're thinking about doing it, do not take it. Like, it's so not worth it. I took it for 2 weeks and I've never felt so sick in my life. I felt so sick one day. I'd said to my friend, like, I can't keep any water down. I can't keep any food down, like no liquids, nothing. I need to go to the hospital. Like, I feel really sick.
So in this podcast episode, she said that she got Ozempic through a friend. It wasn't like a real doctor's appointment where she went there and they took her blood pressure and they weighed her and they asked her questions and they did like an intake form. It sounded like it was something that was just done virtually, or she literally just like got Ozempic from a friend. She took it for about 2 weeks, and she said she was giving herself, I believe, 1 shot per week in her leg. And she said it made her so nauseous. She was throwing up and she was in bed for 2 days. She started at 60 kilos, went down to 57, then down to 54, and 53 kilos was the lowest that she got to in just those couple of weeks. So she spoke to a nurse and she said that she was feeling really ill, and they asked her how much she was taking. And when she told them how much she was taking, they were in shock. And she said that amount of Ozempic that you're taking was actually meant for someone who weighs like 100 plus kilos. So she was rushed to the emergency room. She had a seizure from the dehydration. She said she could feel her face clenching up, her whole body was clenching up. And she said, I don't know if any of you have ever had seizures, but if you ever had one, you know that you end up clenching your hands and your fists so tightly. And she said it felt like she was going to break her hands from the clenching and from the seizure. So she was very, very ill. And I have to say, she was a pretty good sport. When you listen to her talking about this on her podcast, she kind of laughed about it now. She said one of her best friends took her to the hospital, and her friend was kind of initially laughing at her, like, you're an idiot, you overdose on Ozempic. And now Lottie is at the point where she can kind of laugh at it. She said it was so stupid that I took it. I just thought to myself, why didn't she just do cocaine like a normal hot girl? Like, why didn't she just do some cocaine like all the normal hot models, like her sister probably did when she was young? I mean, I'm obviously joking, but kind of not. And we're going to get into it in a little bit. Like, all celebrities, okay, I'll say almost all, because I'm sure there are some exceptions. All celebrities do some kind of drug or medication to help them look thin and stay skinny. It's just like what people in Hollywood do. We know that by now. But we'll get to that in a second. Lottie is now essentially begging people not to take Ozempic. She's saying it's a horrible drug, and she admits that all of the celebrities are on it. So she was saying, you guys have no idea. All the celebrities that you see that have had amazing transformations and they look so good these days, they are on Ozempic. And she also wanted to remind everybody that all of the celebrities that you look at, whether they're supermodels or singers or actresses, they have an entire team that makes them look a certain way. They have a personal trainer, they have a nutritionist, they have a plastic surgeon, they have all these people doing cosmetic procedures on them. We have to remember that they look that good because they have access to all these resources and they have a lot more money than we do. You've probably seen that joke, or heard that joke, "You're not ugly, you're just poor." And then that's usually attached to like a before and after photo of Bella Hadid. Or you can choose even like Tom Brady. There was a really funny meme, "You're not ugly, you're just poor." And it's a before and after of Tom Brady. So all of these celebrities, athletes, whatever, they get a lot of help to look that good. And so that's what Lottie was talking about in her podcast episode. She said, celebrities unfortunately set the standard for what is beautiful. And she herself admits to feeling horribly insecure sometimes when she looks online, which is crazy because Lottie Moss is insanely hot. She's like insanely gorgeous. She's just beautiful. But she was being honest and saying that she even still struggles with some insecurity, and she feels like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm not hot enough. And then she said, this was like the biggest quote that I took from her video. She said, "Where did the body positivity go? We're returning to that heroin chic look of the 90s. And she said, I feel like we were on such a good roll. We were celebrating people's curves and people's different body types. And now we're going back to the heroin chic trend." So, all that to say, I have to say props to Lottie Moss for being honest about it, for being a good sport about it and being able to laugh about it, because I'm sure, come on, let's just put on our thinking caps. I'm sure that Lottie Moss is not the only celebrity to have a negative effect from Ozempic. I'm sure she's not. There may have been celebrities who have spoken up before. You've definitely heard people like Chelsea Handler. She said that she tried Ozempic because it was recommended to her by her doctor because she wanted to lose weight. And she said she felt so horrible. She couldn't stay on it. She was like so nauseous and she just felt sick all the time. So there are very few celebrities who are honest enough about it. Elon Musk has been very honest that he's used Ozempic. I honestly, like, props to them. If they're going to be honest about it, at least they're being honest about it. I think what a lot of people get really annoyed with is you have these figures like Kim Kardashian and Kelly Clarkson and Mindy Kaling. They are not honest about what gave them their insane body transformation. Like Khloe Kardashian's like, "I just work out. It's just all those years of getting up at 5 a.m. to work out." Ma'am, can we be honest, please? It's okay that you took Ozempic and like got a rib removed, which is a rumor that Kim Kardashian did. Who knows? But the whole thing is that they're just insanely dishonest and they gaslight their fans and followers. And they're like, "We just drink fit tea and eat vegan and wake up at 5 a.m. to work out. That's why we look like this." Okay. But there have been a lot of celebrities lately who have had dramatic weight loss from Ozempic. Mindy Kaling, like I mentioned earlier, she's one of the biggest examples right now. Like, this is what she looks like now. This is a 40-pound weight loss. This was last year, so not even 2024, 2023. Mindy Kaling walked the red carpet at the Oscars and everyone was like blown away at how she looks because she's wearing this white gown that's got, it's basically like a bralette and midriff showing, and she looks really thin. So for anyone who has known Mindy Kaling in the past, I first, of course, knew her from The Office because I am as millennial as they come. And I even know her show, The Mindy Project. Sometimes I like to watch reruns of it because that's how much of a millennial I am. But she, in the very first episode of The Mindy Project, she's an OBGYN and she works in this office with a few other doctors. And there's this doctor, Danny Castellano, who she ends up dating. And she's getting ready for a date and she shows the other doctors what she's wearing. And then she has a little back and forth with Danny Castellano. And he says, "What would look really good if you lost 15 pounds. And her character got furious. She was so mad. She was like, "I'm so hot. How dare you judge people by what they look like?" And she gave the whole like body positivity speech. Well, not so body positive anymore, Mindy Kaling, because you obviously took Ozempic. It's so clear. There's also been the Kim Kardashian transformation that everyone has watched over the last couple of years. She went from thick and curvy to extremely thin and curvy. And then Kelly Clarkson, I think she has admitted to using some kind of medication to lose that much weight. Kelly Clarkson, I kind of feel bad for her. She's always been up and down and struggled with her weight throughout the many years of her career. And she has alluded to using some kind of medication, and it's very likely some form of semaglutide like Ozempic, Wegovy, whatever it is. And then there are people like Anthony Anderson, Claudia Oshry. Like, these are some of many celebrities who have very clearly had visible weight loss transformations from Ozempic. And I don't think people understand how many celebrities in Hollywood have been using these kinds of medications and various types of drugs to get skinny for decades. That's why I joke like, "Lottie, why didn't you just do cocaine like a normal hot girl?" It's because a lot of supermodels will do cocaine, they'll do drugs. They do these things because there's so much pressure on them to stay skinny and look a certain way. And these are the people who are setting the beauty standards. So I completely understand where Lottie is coming from. Once again, props to her for being honest. Ozempic is just the next medication. It's just the next trend in a long line of extremely popular ways to get skinny and lose weight. It's trickling down from Hollywood. It's falling into the laps of normal people who are just desperate to lose weight, desperate to look better and be skinnier. It's used for people who are extremely obese and they haven't had any success at losing weight. And with the obesity crisis that we're seeing in America today, don't forget, we're close to half of American adults being obese. That's crazy, you guys. Almost half of Americans are obese. With now even the rates of being overweight, 70% of Americans are overweight, if not obese. So the numbers keep creeping up and creeping up and creeping up. And Ozempic is being used as this Band-Aid to just slap onto people and say, hey, take this and lose 30 pounds. Now, are they going to keep it off? Who knows? Some of them get sick from it. There have been stories of overdoses and poison centers having like an insane amount of increase of calls over the last year because people are getting sick from Ozempic. They're going to the hospital. There was a story of a horrific bowel disease that attacked this woman from taking Ozempic. Like she essentially lost her ability to go to the bathroom regularly ever again. She was having like insane diarrhea. I'm not even going to go into too many of the details, but there have been a lot of stories lately of Ozempic just wrecking people's health. And allegedly, as this is all going on, celebrities are throwing Ozempic parties. I don't know if this is real, but this is like an alleged thing. Is Hollywood throwing Ozempic parties while there's a nationwide shortage? Here's what we know. This is from Evie Magazine. The allegations first came to light when an anonymous source within the entertainment industry leaked the info online. One of the first stories to circulate included actress Mindy Kaling with claims that she and other celebs are hosting parties where they inject each other with a secret and even more potent version of semaglutide for easy weight loss. Who knows if this is true, but one of the biggest issues with all this is the scarcity of Ozempic. So there is a huge shortage now. So this person says, my mom, a diabetic, can't access her Ozempic meds due to a global shortage because people are terrified of being fat and would rather make themselves be permanently disabled to be thin. I hate this effing reality. And that's a really sad thing, is that there is a massive shortage of this medication because remember, if you don't know this by now, Ozempic is not a weight loss drug. Do we know what it is? It is a diabetes drug, and it's just been off-labeled for weight loss because it works, and it has worked for a lot of people who are obese. But that has resulted in a major shortage. So a lot of people who struggle with diabetes, who really need it, they're not able to get it because all of the celebs and a lot of fat people and vain people, I actually know some people who are not that overweight, they're using it for like a 10-pound weight loss. I can name 3 people off the top of my head that I know personally, not friends of friends, but people that I know in the sort of industry that I'm in. They use Ozempic just to lose the last 10 to 15 pounds. And this is contributing to the massive shortage of this medication, people who actually need it. So Ozempic's popularity just shows that nobody actually believes in body positivity. Nobody actually believes in fat acceptance because when people get the chance, they are going to lose weight. Look at Lizzo. Look at Lizzo's weight loss transformation happening right before our eyes. She is going to the gym very often. She's eating better. She may be using a medication. We don't know, but I'm not going to say she is because she hasn't confirmed that. We don't know. But look at Mindy Kaling, Kelly Clarkson. Nobody actually believes in body positivity in Hollywood. They only believe in it if it helps them sell a product or it helps them grow their brand, helps them get followers, helps them get engagement. They care about looking their very best. And it's interesting because now you see a lot of these ads and commercials like for Hims, for example. So I'm a big tennis fan. I watch all the Grand Slams. And anytime I watch a Grand Slam, I have to watch ads and commercials. And I never really do. And I always see these ads for Hims and Hers. And when it talks about Hims and Hers, it's always talking about semaglutide. All you have to do is get online and you get a prescription. You don't have to see a doctor. You don't have to go in to get any tests done. You don't have to go in to get weighed. You don't have to go in to get your blood pressure taken. You just tell them your weight online. You can definitely lie about it and you just get Ozempic mailed to your doorstep. So yeah, nobody really cares about body positivity. They just want to lose weight however they can. And the celebs are leading the charge on that. So I hope Lottie Moss is doing better. I think she's gorgeous. And I'm glad that she's being honest about this whole thing. So if you're somebody who is struggling to lose weight, you can do it without Ozempic. Trust me, I've helped so many women do it. If you're new to my channel, I'm a health and fitness coach. I've been doing this for over 10 years. I'm taking on one-on-one clients. I have a women's health group. So if you want to join, the links are in the description and the show notes, because you don't need semaglutide to lose weight. Okay, trust me. I have lost 50 pounds before. And then with both of my pregnancies, I gained like 40, 45 pounds with my pregnancies. I'm like a little fat pregnant lady when I'm pregnant, but I lose it all because it's possible and you don't need drugs for it. So let me know what you think in the comment section. Have you taken Ozempic? Do you want to take Ozempic? I hope not. And we'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye.